Ifoma, a bright and loving woman in her mid-30s, had always prided herself on her independent nature. She came from an open background but worked hard to achieve her dreams. Having married Chijioke, a successful businessman, she felt like she had found her happily ever after. Chijioke, a tall, well-groomed man with a calm demeanor, seemed perfect for her, charming, affectionate, and successful. They had a beautiful home, and life appeared perfect on the outside. But behind the facade of their seemingly perfect marriage, things were beginning to unravel. Chijioke's demanding career often kept him away for long hours. He decided to spend more time with his colleagues, including Ngozi, a stunning and confident ex-lover who had always held a special place in his life. At first, it seemed harmless, a friendship, he said, but soon it was clear that there was an emotional intimacy between them that Chijioke hadn't fully let go of. Ifeoma noticed the little things first: long hours at the office, late night calls, and an uncomfortable amount of attention Chijioke gave to Ngozi. She tried to ignore it, rationalizing it as nothing, but it gnawed at her. Then, when Ifeoma asked Chijioke if they could attend a reunion of her old friends, he shut her down, saying it wasn't important and that she should focus on their family. Feeling more isolated and frustrated, Ifeoma's social circle grew smaller. Chijioke had always discouraged her from meeting new people, and after several attempts to go out with old friends ended in argument, she began to withdraw, staying at home, hoping her husband would notice her more. But it wasn't long before she realized that Chijioke had already emotionally checked out of their marriage. At this time, Ifeoma reconnected with Ugo, an old lover from her past who had always been somewhat possessive and obsessive, but was also undeniably charismatic. Ugo had always known how to get under her skin, make her feel special, and he quickly noticed her vulnerability. One evening, when Chijioke was out with Ngozi, Ugo sent her a text message saying, "You deserve better than him. Let me remind you how special you are." Flattered and desperate for attention, Ifeoma reached out to Ugo, telling him how lonely and neglected she felt. Ugo responded with flattering words, followed by subtle suggestions that she had been wronged. He gradually began to convince Ifeoma that Chijioke no longer loved her. Slowly but surely, he lured her back into his toxic grip. But things were never as simple as it seemed. Ugo was not the man he appeared to be. His charm hid a darker side. He craved control, and the more Ifeoma gave it to him, the more he sought to manipulate her. He started giving her advice on how to improve her relationship with Chijoke, but it always had a twist that pushed her further away from her husband. Ifeoma's feelings for Ugo quickly grew complicated. She was torn between the desire for emotional validation and a lingering love for Chijoke. Meanwhile, Chijoke's emotional neglect became more apparent. He began to disregard her needs, spending more time with Ngozi, making excuses to avoid her company, and giving her the cold shoulder when she tries to engage him in a conversation. Ifeoma, feeling deeply rejected, started questioning her worth. Was she still beautiful? Was she still enough for Chijoke? Ugo continued to fuel her insecurities, pointing out how she deserved more than a man who was clearly emotionally unavailable. He suggested she leaves Chiyoke for good and promised to take care of her. But even as she considered this, Ifeoma felt conflicted. She didn't want to lose her marriage, but the damage was already done. Her internal battle intensified as Ugo began to manipulate her more overly. He convinced her to cut ties with her family and friends, isolating her even from support. He told her that Chijoke would never change and that she had to choose her own happiness over anything else. But Ugo's obsession didn't stop there. He started spying on Ifoma, showing up at places where she would never expect him, sending her gifts that made her uncomfortable, and making her feel that she could never escape his watchful eye. He was relentless, and the more Ifeoma tried to push him away, the more he pushed back. Chijioke, meanwhile, became increasingly passive. His relationship with Ngozi became more intense, and Ifeoma's suspicion grew. Yet, Chijioke continued to tell her that she was being paranoid and controlling. He gaslighted her, denying any emotional attachment to Ngozi and accusing her of being unreasonable. Ifeoma, desperately for clarity, confronted Ngozi one evening. In an intense confrontation, Ngozi casually dismissed her concerns, saying, Chijioke and I share a bond that you will never understand. You will always be mine, in some way, no matter what you think. This revelation was the final straw for Ifeoma. She realized that not only had Chijioke emotionally abandoned her, but he had been emotionally committed to another woman for years. With no clear answers and no hope for reconciliation, Ifeoma made the heartbreaking decision to move out of their shared home. But even as she packed her things, Ugo's manipulation continued. Once Ifeoma moved out, she found herself staying with an old college friend, Ngozi, not the ex-lover. Yeah, she slowly started to regain a sense of who she was. She began therapy to address her feelings of rejection, trauma, and emotional abuse. But the road to healing was not linear. Every step forward seemed to be followed by two steps back. Ugo's obsession grew more dangerous. He began to show up unannounced, locking out at her apartment, sending cryptic messages that made her feel threatened. He wasn't content to let her live in peace. He felt entitled to her attention and love. Ifeoma started receiving disturbing phone calls at all hours. In one particularly chilling moment, she woke up to find a note under her door. I will never let you go. Not now. Not ever. Ifeoma finally reported Ogo to the police after he showed up at her workplace demanding she come back to him. The police issued a restraining order against him, but that didn't stop his harassment. Ugo's control over her continued, even though she tried to distance herself. Meanwhile, Chijioke had become distant, emotionally numb, and uninterested in resolving things. One evening, Ifeoma finally confronted Chijioke, pleading with him to fix their marriage. She discovered, however, that he had become emotionally entangled with Ngozi in a way that she was far worse than she had imagined. He confessed that he had never truly gotten over her and that he had been waiting for the right moment to tell Ifeoma the truth. This confession left Ifeoma devastated. The last shred of hope she had held on to for her marriage evaporated in that moment. But just when she thought things couldn't get worse, Ugo made his most sinister move yet. He kidnapped her. Ugo's kidnapping was the final breaking point. He trapped Ifeoma in this secluded cabin on the outskirts of the city, threatening to hurt anyone who tried to stop him. His grip on her mind was complete, and for the first time, Ifeoma realized how deep his obsession had truly become. She was no longer the woman who had once been independent and confident. She was a prisoner, physically and emotionally. In a tense, nail-biting scene, Noma manages to escape, but not without a cost. She finally gets in touch with the police, who intervene just in time to arrest Ugo. However, the damage has been done. The psychological scars would last a lifetime. Ifeoma begins the long journey of healing. Through therapy, she uncovers the deep wounds of emotional manipulation and control that has shaped her relationships with Chijioke and Ugo. Slowly, she starts to rebuild her life, but it's not without setbacks. There are moments where she questions her worth, moments when she misses the love she thought she had found, but in time, she begins to reclaim her power. Ifeoma moves to a new city, leaving the past behind, and eventually finds new friends who support her. She learns to trust herself again, and though the pain of the past never fully disappears, she gains the strength to move forward. Ifeoma stands alone on the quiet balcony, gazing out at the sunset, a slight smile on her face. She has come a long way from the woman trapped in the web of toxic love and obsession. She knows now that she's enough. She is free. Hope you found this very intriguing. If you were a farmer, what would you do? Would you have gone back to Ugo, or would you have forgiven your husband and tried to work it out? Let me know in the comment section. If you love stories like this or you would need to help me grow, let me know what you think I can do more to make you guys more interesting to the videos and the stories I create. Thank you and see you in my next video. Do not forget to subscribe, share and like. Bye.